Guys, what's going on? It's Gunnar here. Welcome back. I hope you're having an awesome day. But let's get right into it. So today we're going to talk a little bit about edge feathering. I've had a few guys ask me questions about how can I implement edge feathering when it comes to my food plots and screening my food plots. Now, it's actually pretty simple. Edge feathering is not a difficult concept, and it's pretty easy to implement and get a benefit from it right away. Basically, at the end of the day, edge feathering is just thickening 15 to 30 yards just inside the wood edge from your food plot. Virtually, you're just creating a hard screen, a hard edge. And it can also be used at the same time as a barricade of some form. You can drop these trees in a manner that directs deer into the areas that you want them to come out. That's kind of how I implemented it here on this food plot that I'm standing on right now. Now, this is one of my biggest food plots here. It's roughly about ½ acre. What we did here is we had a huge aspen stand. It was virtually pure aspen right along this edge here. And what I did is I came in and I flush cut majority of these trees. They were pretty mature. So I moved some of these trees out of here, but at the same time, I left some, like I'm telling you about, using that barricade ability with this edge feathering. So I had these deer coming all the way along this food plot. They were coming up everywhere. There was trails coming up through the whole edge of this food plot here. Now, I don't want that because that doesn't narrow down. That doesn't neck deer down. What I want to use it for is a screen to block off maybe 3 out of the 5 trails. Maybe only have one trail open on this end and another on this end. So I got to make them choose, right? Because I don't want to have that variability with knowing where a buck is going to come out on a specific trail. If I can narrow that down to 1 or maybe 2 trails, that helps me enormously to get within bow range. That's one of the beautiful things about edge feathering is you can manipulate how deer use food plots. Now, you can take it too far too. You can create a hard barricade here and you can make it feel too tight for them, right? So there's a happy medium that you need to find. And that comes with trial and error, right? So you don't want to lay all these trees over 3 feet high off the ground and barricade it off completely so they feel trapped. Guys, what's going on? It's Gunnar. A lot of you have been reaching out saying you need more help. Well, I want to mention my habitat company, Hanson Habitat. If you want to take whitetails and wildlife to the next level on your own property, installing food plots, timber management, edge feathering, native habitat, fruit tree planting, whatever you need, bedding cover. I'm working with a team of the best land managers in the state of Wisconsin, and we'll travel, we'll do whatever you need to take your property to the next level. Shoot me a text message, 608-632-7233. We'll get you on the list. I'll help you with whatever you need. I got your back for life. Let's get back to the video. Make that barricade, but at the same time, don't overdo it. Don't make it impenetrable where deer can't even escape through there if danger presented itself. If they can't run through it, they're not gonna feel safe within it. So that's one of the things that you wanna look for with edge feathering. On the other hand, edge feathering, like I said, it's 15 to 30 yards just inside the timber from the edge of your food plot. And virtually all it is, pulling these deer closer to where you're hunting them earlier in the afternoon. This is pulling these deer closer to where you want to hunt them within that daylight time frame. So creating this hard edge makes them feel far more secure just beyond that, rather than having no cover here whatsoever. So we're basically turning the backside of this edge feather into a staging area. And it makes it even more popular and better if you've got a stand of oaks like I do just on this point here that are dropping acorns. It's perfect because deer are already wanting to spend time in there and feed there prior to going out to the big ag fields or my food plots. They're already staging within there because they have acorns to feed on. Now I just enhanced this whole thing by promoting native regeneration by flush cutting a lot of these aspen. So as you can see here, it is very nasty. You don't want to come through here. You're going to get all cut up. It's blackberry briars, it's aspen regeneration. A lot of this good goldenrod coming up. I've got one trail coming up right through here. I've always got a camera on it. And I've got another trail coming up right in front of a stand on the backside over here. So like I'm saying, you can use this as a blockade to manipulate how deer are moving throughout this food plot. So both of these trails are huntable. That's what you got to remember here is you can make all the habitat improvements of the world, but if you can't hunt those habitat improvements, what good are they doing? At the end of the day, edge feathering is not a difficult concept. It's 15 to 30 yards just inside the woods. We're creating a hard edge. We're promoting regeneration. We can use those dead trees that we're felling as a blockade to maneuver deer. And at the same time, we can create edge feathering. We can use switchgrass. We can use native grass blends. We can plant fruit trees. We can create edges. Like I said in last week's video, creating edge, you can create all of these habitat features that we're talking about, but you can also utilize the timber that you currently have to do the same thing and get a result much quicker. So once again, I'm flush cutting these trees 15 to 30 yards in. I'm creating a flush of new growth just on the edge of my food plots, right at deer level. I'm creating browse and I'm creating cover. On the back side of that is going to be my staging area. Deer are going to spend time there. They're staging there, waiting for darkness to come, waiting for that last light. Then they're going to come out and feed on the food plots. I've got a double-edged sword here. I've got an edge feather on the big block of timber, but I've also got a fence line with edging of switchgrass. So I have a double layer here. I have two edges. Basically, my food plot is covered on both ends. So these deer are completely enclosed and secluded when they're out here feeding. That promotes daylight activity. Daylight activity is promoted by cover and safety. So if you don't have daytime cover and safety, deer aren't going to feed on your food plots during daylight. But like I said, you guys have been asking about edge feathering. How can I implement edge feathering? How can I use edge feathering to promote daylight activity on my food plots? This is the way to do it right here. You can use it in a lot of different ways, but this is how I've implemented it here on this half-acre food plot. Is I'm going in 15 to 30 yards just inside the timber. I'm creating that flush of new growth, creating browse, promoting native regeneration, cover, creating that staging area just beyond it, and I'm promoting that daylight activity, and I'm creating blockades where I don't want deer to come out. I'm forcing deer to choose one or two trails, both of which I can hunt. This I can hunt on a west wind, blow it over the top down into the valley. This I can hunt on the southeast, blow it over this knob into that valley. And I can watch all of this from a box blind right over here to my left during gun season. It's the perfect scenario, and I guarantee you, you're gonna have far more deer activity on your food plots next fall. Guys, it's Gunnar. Look, a lot of you guys have been talking to me, telling me how you need help. Well, I wanna talk to you today about whitetail coaching. One-on-one virtual coaching with me. We'll go in depth on whatever problems, whatever help you need. We'll find the solution you're looking for. Shoot me a text, 608-632-7233. 608-632-7233. I got your back for life.